Hello, good day to you all. Welcome to Realism, the podcast, a show that's passionate about the film world and all the universes within it. My name is Christian Spivey, and today we're reviewing a movie. It's an A24 film. It's entitled Talk to Me, and then I have one of my high school buds from high school, obviously, but Stephen Pinella. Welcome back.
Hey, what's up, guys?
It's been a while. It's been since season 1.
Yeah, like, what, the third, fourth episode?
Yeah, but he is the scorekeeper, is what the title of his episode is. We talked about scoring in films last time he was on the show, and now we're reviewing a film together. We did not see the film together,
Right.
but we did see the film.
Confirmed.
Yes. But yeah, the movie is called Talk to Me. It's an A24 production, or at least that's the big studio behind, or that's slapped on there.
Yeah.
It's written, directed by, or not written, excuse me. It is directed by the Filippo brothers, Danny and Michael Filippo, and it is written by Bill Heinzman. The concept apparently is from Daley Pearson, and then Danny Filippo is one of the writers credited on the film as well.
Yeah, dude. What a wild flick.
Yeah, for real.
A wild flick.
I was terrified for sure.
I mean, honestly, one of the scariest movies I've seen in a minute.
Yeah.
Like,
I was in my shirt scared. Like,
yeah, like in the last year, probably the most scariest.
Yeah, it was very terrifying. We'll break it down in just a second. Before we deep dive into it, what is your relationship with film, and specifically horror film?
With film, I mean, back in college, if you listen to the last episode, it was all about like wanting to write music for movies. And then I was like, you know what? How about just do stuff for movies, like being a part of the film process?
Yeah.
And so, specifically with horror, my dad used to be a makeup artist for monster flicks, like back in the day. So like, Halloween was always the time, and we would just do the monster horror, like makeup artist stuff. And it was just, the practical effects was like a big like draw to the horror movie things. It's like, it's like real. It looks real, So yeah, I just, since I was a wee lad, not just 3 hairs on my chin.
Oh my gosh. Now there's 3 million.
I know. But yeah, dude, horror movies have been like, and that's the issue, I think, because it's like I've seen so many now. It's like now I'm chasing like, all right, what's the next like big scariest one?
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you top the last scariest thing?
And that's what really did it for me. It was like, I'm like, I want an experience. Like, I want a like thriller horror experience. And I think Talk to Me really did well with that.
Yeah, it was captivating the entire time.
Oh yeah, in the best and worst ways.
Yeah.
I remember you guys doing one year when Walking Dead was really hot. You guys did a Terminus theme for Halloween.
Yeah, we did like a little haunted house thing. You come to the house and we had the tarp set up, and it was the whole like, oh, you're looking for sanctuary, and then that was the cue, and I would scream behind the tarp because I was behind the tarp.
Oh, okay.
I would scream, there is no sanctuary, and then pull like a fake chainsaw, and my sister would scream on the table. We flash a light. It was, and the whole neighborhood was like, oh my god,
what is going on?
It was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. I remember you showing me a picture or video
Yeah.
One of your siblings or mom took, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
What would you say like some of your favorite movies, go-tos for like something you can watch any day of the week, like, or let's ask the cliche, like if you're on an island, you can take 3 movies with you. What are you taking with you?
I think it'll be horror.
It could be anything.
I mean, in terms of anything, Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Amen. Yes, my guy.
Top one. Then probably Interstellar, because if I'm feeling like particularly lonely on the island, I can feel even more lonely by watching Interstellar. And then probably like Inception, to be like,
okay,
I can dream my way out of this.
Dang, 2 Nolan films.
Yeah.
Speaking of Nolan, did you see Oppenheimer?
Yeah. No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
I haven't yet, but
are you going? Do you plan on seeing Oppenheimer?
I need to see it in theaters.
Okay. Did you see Barbie?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you weren't part of the shenanigans, the big event.
No, I saw like Evil Dead the weekend it came out.
Oh,
like
cool.
At home.
Dude, I thought it was like pretty well done. It was gruesome for sure.
Oh, yeah, very gruesome, but it wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't the best.
Yeah.
Like Evil Dead film versus like horror. Yeah, I don't know.
Standalone horror film. I liked it.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
It had its parts, but
like,
overall.
Evil Dead, yeah. Yeah, that's how I rate, like, if it's like an Evil Dead film, like, nah.
Yeah, I compare it to an Evil Dead film, and then I compare it to like a horror film. And for an Evil Dead film, it was fine. For a horror film, it was okay. I think on my Letterboxd, I gave it like a 2.5.
Oh, dude, love that. I need to start asking people what their letterbox is. Like,
Oh, dude, I'll plug it later. Shoot.
Yeah, heck yeah, look at it. I thought like as far as Evil Dead, real quick, like I thought the opener was way stronger than like the whole film.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's get back to that. Like,
And then it sort of like lost its way because it went
yeah.
on.
I feel like, I don't know, like I guess like the whole concept of isolation in horror films is nice. Like they're in a cabin and on a lake.
It's classic.
And like now lakes are scary. Scalps are scary now.
Yeah.
That was gruesome. Like I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
But they built the terror so well. Like I said, a strong opener is like, you got me. Like.
And then you were like, well, who are those people?
Exactly.
How does this really? And then the ending comes around. You're like,
and that's
okay.
Oh, dang it. But strong opener for sure.
Yeah.
Reading the book, she was reading the pages when not looking. That terrified me.
I was like, oh.
I was like, yeah,
it's happening.
We're in it. Okay. So, also talk to me, like getting into it now. Like, they just announced a sequel yesterday.
Yeah.
Prior to recording.
They're like, all right, we got it. You liked it? Here's a sequel.
Yeah, for real. I heard the Filippo brothers they're working on a prequel, but then I think maybe A24 just ordered a sequel.
Interesting.
Because it specifically said sequel.
Yeah.
So we're getting a sequel for sure.
I mean, it I don't know how I feel about a sequel for it, because I feel like it wrapped up pretty well, and it's like, what, are we going to follow these new people? Is she going to get out? You know, like, how does this, where does this work? But, I mean, a prequel would have definitely worked. Yeah. But then, it's like, how to get the hand.
Exactly.
That would have been interesting.
I'm more okay with a sequel because, I don't know. I still love, like I said to Ben when we got out of theater, I love the mystery of it.
Yeah.
I said that too. I was like, dang, I hope they don't do something stupid and crazy with like finding out the hand of it. Because I'm like, the mystery of this hand is like the perfect.
Yeah, they said like 2 or 3 different stories. About it.
Yeah.
During the film. So like, yeah.
It's like Heath Ledger's or Joker's origin story. There's 3 things that you get, but it's never, you don't know which one.
That's the draw of it. It's like
I love that.
Of it. Yeah.
We don't need a prequel.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need a prequel.
Yeah.
Filippo brothers.
Just give me more crazy stories.
Yeah, no, for real. And I don't even think we need the same characters anymore. I feel like you set it up where you can go a different route that ended that story.
Like,
spoiler.
Yeah, right. Like, Sophie Wilde will be like, one of the people they see, and it's like we can then go away. Yeah. And then maybe like she possesses one of them and then is trying to get out. But I don't know if we need to see everyone.
I think spoiler. I think she's in. Like, I don't think she's gonna get out. You think she's like in?
Well, I mean, the brother got possessed, so I think she may find a way to.
But I think she crossed over. I think she died. Like, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like,
but
I don't even think. Okay, what happened? Oh wait, I don't really want to like reveal.
Yeah, we'll get there later.
But speaking of Sophie Wilde, like, incredible performance. She played Mia, the main actress in the role.
I mean, movie debut, right?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because a lot of these actors are like low key. Because the Filippo brothers, if you guys don't know already, are YouTubers, and they made short films all the time. This is their first directorial debut, like feature film.
After like Sundance, they entered it in Sundance, and they we got it. We got the movie.
And then A24 is like, we want that.
We want that.
And I'm like, I'm glad you picked it up because they did an incredible job.
Because they also didn't they write on Babadook?
I think they had something.
They had something about
Babadook. Australian horror films. They're all connected.
They're wild, man. And I mean, and you kind of think like, did you see Babadook?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There were some echoes of Babadook in it. It's kind of about grief and like how you deal with it.
Oh yeah.
And it really, you could see a lot of the inspiration for it, and it was. I mean, Babadook was cool.
Yeah, Babadook was terrifying. I saw that at Sunray.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like the only theater that was showing it. And then I was like, dang, this is scary. Like, and then, freaking sound quality in Sunray, at least at the time, was like overpowering. So it was loud. Wow. So everything was just like, but I had a good milkshake there, so that was really cool.
Hey.
Full service theater before all these theaters stepped it up. Where do you go to see your movies when you go to theater?
AMC. Like I've ventured over to the what is it in Fleming? Is that Regal?
I think it's AMC now. It used to be a Regal, Michael or whatever.
I can't remember what it was
I
called.
think it's AMC now, right?
I believe so, unless they just conglomerate,
Probably.
capitalism. But yeah, it's usually AMC because it's like central to where my two other friends are.
Yeah. Awesome. So you have movie going partners that you just love it.
Yep.
Yeah, I just switch around every once in a while now. Whoever's like down to see it. Kayla doesn't want to see everything. Like we're iffy with like possession films and all that.
Fair.
But I was like, this one doesn't really look like biblically demonic, like cliche.
I was gonna say, like, there wasn't, for a possession film,
Yeah,
there wasn't a like highlight of religion with it.
Which I really liked.
It was just some teens messing around with some weird
It was
thing.
like a new drug.
and that's how, like, that was like the whole thing of the whole movie. It was like, it was basically like an allegory for like drug addiction, and especially with younger people. So it's like, whoa, but in the form of a basically a Ouija board style thing. And I would not mess with that hand.
Heck no, bro. Like, after the whole how the concept is like talk to me, and then there's a second step to go further, dude, it's like heck no, bro. Like I'm good.
Like and that was interesting too. Like in terms of like, I guess, possession rules in film. Yeah, this one had some pretty interesting ones. Yeah, like it was very it was really cool, and like it's like you everyone like gathers up, you sit down, and you hold the hand, you get strapped in. Yeah. And then you just say, talk to me. But it's like, it seems like these kids have the steps down, but they don't know what they're messing with. Oh, yeah. They don't know what they're messing with.
No, absolutely not.
Because, who in the revolving door of people who are trying to get out and back to life, you don't know who you're going to see.
Oh, yeah. And then, like, the whole, like, the spirits that were in it were, like, once humans that, and the way that we saw them were, like, I guess how they died. Yeah. At least according to the end of the film, it's like how it works, and they're aware of like what's going on. Well, I think she was more aware because she experienced the hand, firsthand. Right. No, no pun intended. But I feel like everybody else maybe is just like spirits that like are like, because they look confused when they got there. Some of them, like the first lady that we saw with Mia when she did it, that like. Goopy lady. Yeah, she looked confused in a sense. Maybe it was just the weirdness that she was acting into it, but she was just like, where am I?
like trying to acclimate, because like what was really cool was we only saw like a spirit or a ghost when Mia was doing it. We never saw a spirit when everyone else did it.
Oh, that's right.
Because they were following Mia, so it was all about her. So we never saw, when the younger brother did it, we never saw the mom.
Yeah, that's true.
He just turns. But whenever Mia got in, we would see the gross, spirit or whatever. Yeah. But it was only Mia who we saw.
That's interesting.
Really cool, right?
It is.
And so, like, I saw another thing that was like, the spirit that comes to them, like, with, like vibrations and stuff and energy. The spirit that visited the person, whoever was in it, talking to the, shaking the hand, like matched that of the mental state of the person that was doing it. And that's kind of that's who like visited them. And it was like, I was like, oh, that's nuts. What a small detail that's never explained, but it's like, this is, just a background thing that they had. Really cool.
I love that. Speaking of little brother, Riley, character's name is Riley, actor is Joe Bird. Phenomenal. I feel like he did a really good job as well.
Really, really good.
He's probably older than what he looks, but he also like did like those I would say action scenes or stunt scenes really well.
Yeah, dude.
And then the whole hospital scenes with him.
Oh, dude, when he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Mia," and then smashes his face down, I was like,
I got really uncomfortable. Like,
dude,
the first one when Mia first got her first talk to me session, like the whole laughing and
hanging over the side.
It's just like
no.
I know. I was like, oh wow, this is sending a tingle down my spine right now. Like, I'm really terrified.
And they were just like, oh, best one yet. It's like, what?
What do you mean?
What are you talking about?
They're just like freaking. They're just recording it. The whole social media aspect.
Everyone phones are up. Like, it was just like, dude.
Yeah, and I mean, even this movie had a strong opener. It's just like let us tell you what you're about to get into.
Right.
And then I love how they use that character. And I was like, all right, is this like a dead end kind of like, all right, now we go into the film. But
And
like,
they just pass the hand to the next person.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, ugh.
But now we're just like, they utilize that character, the older brother, at the beginning of the film, with the
As like the wise older man that you go
exactly
talk to.
really well, because you're like, oh, did that? Oh, he didn't die. I mean, well, dang, he probably wants to be.
I totally thought he did.
Yeah, I mean, but he probably wants to be dead because like how his brother passed and all that. I was just like, yikes.
Slippery slope, and that's how it's like the drug theme. It's like
exactly
it'll take you.
And then how he told about the spirit or whatever. He's like, just like let him be, like it'll wear off after a while. They get weaker as you go. Like withdrawals, it's just like you can eventually just heal naturally from it, which is so crazy. They introduce supernatural as a drug, and then literally the effects of it is very similar to real world drugs use. Just it'll wear off eventually. It might suck on the way because like Riley was going through it, if he actually went through it,
right?
Which I think he did spiritually, like supernaturally in that world. Because when the little girl with Mia, that scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, dude. And like, I just, and the thing is, I don't know, like, was Mia's mom like being like an evil spirit, or just trying to lure her in? Because she's like, oh yeah, Riley's gonzo, like he's out of here. Yeah. So like, you gotta like kill him. And then I'm like, dude, I don't even know if I would, because it felt very like tempting. It felt very like like I don't know. It was just really weird. And then Mia was like, all right, you know what? Take me.
Yeah, I mean, let's just spoiler all the way. Like, at the end of the film, when she took Riley and she's by the highway, and then that car crash, you don't really see what happened. Did I see it wrong, or am I getting it right? Did you see Jade push Mia into the road to save Riley, or was it like Mia risked herself and just jumped and like?
I mean, I don't think Jade pushed her, because then if that was the case, I feel like there would have been like, some camera shots of Jade like.
But we kind of didn't see it. We saw her like started to run down. They're at the end of the highway. We just go to a car scene, first person, and then we hear something hit the car or crash, and then that car crashed, and then all of a sudden we see Mia get up from the road all beat up. I'm like, did she jump or did she get pushed?
I know. I think she jumped because from seeing what was going on with Riley, when she was in the hospital room and like everything going on, she's like, oh, my mom's like here, like, you know what? I think all I need to do is just jump.
Yeah.
So I think she did it. I think she made the decision, which could be like a full-on overdose of the whole situation.
Okay.
So that's why I think what happened. I don't think Jade did it. Wait, and then speaking of Jade, like, I think I gave it a 4.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Because I don't know. The Jade's character was a little flat to me. I don't know. She wasn't the best character, and not like on my rating system. I usually go with like I take a look at acting as one of the stars. Yeah. And see like how was it overall, and overall it was pretty good, but like I don't know, Jade's character didn't really do it for me.
Yeah, I mean she was kind of like the voice of reason.
You're right. Yeah.
Kind of deal. Like you got the mommy issue thing,
right?
And then you had the mom who is in Lord of the Rings. Am I wrong?
And like, yeah, I'm pretty sure she's Awen.
Yeah. Okay. She's one of the elves, right?
No, the human woman who like.
Oh, I am no man.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. Sorry. Goodness gracious. I thought that was a funny like switch up.
Oh yeah, like the whole interaction with her, like those scenes were like really cool, like comedic. That was like a nice sort of like calm before the storm.
Absolutely. Like they left a lot of mystery and kind of things up in the air, kinda like, or you can't really tell what's what. That's the truth, and I think you're like in Mia's place at that point.
Yeah.
You're just like, all right, what is the truth? What is it? Like, did the dad kill the mom?
Dude,
did the dad fake the note? Like,
yeah, I don't know, and I like And when she was like, "Oh yeah, that's not your dad," and you're like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, and then like it was telling the truth, but
Yeah.
it's like, okay, is her mom like looking out for her, or is her mom just like really trying to?
And that's what I was like. I was like, "Is this the evil spirit like lying to her, or but not lying to her?" And it was so.
Yeah, and then like if I really thought about it too, like nobody really died except Mia.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Technically.
I thought like everyone died,
Yeah.
Scissor to the throat, dad's dead.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is it. Like, and that's why I was like, oh, okay. That's why she jumped. She's like, I don't have anything left. Mom's dead, dad's dead. I killed my dad. Whoops.
Oh,
And then
okay.
that's why I thought she jumped. And probably why, maybe she thought she had killed her dad
Maybe.
and then jumped, So
Yeah.
like, but then the dad's walking away and everything's fine. You're like, oh. So
Everyone's alive except me.
except me. And it's like you heard, but she's seeing you like you're hurting everyone around her and
Yeah.
drug use.
Yeah.
Don't do drugs.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't,
Do it responsibly.
Don't do a hand and say talk to me and let me in.
Yeah.
Or don't do that.
Possess responsibly.
So scare factor, like what did you? Okay, so you said acting goes into your stars, your ratings.
Mm-hmm.
What else incorporates into your ratings when you're rating a film?
So cinematography, sound of music, acting, script, narrative, and then like the genre.
Okay.
So like, the cinematography, really cool. Like really dope
Yeah.
shots. The dreaming sequence, and everything, like it was like showing like the world, and like when they followed me and when she like flipped over, it was like you could tell via the camera when someone was being possessed.
Yeah.
Like it was almost like the shot design was like the possession happening. Really cool. Lots of dope shots there.
No, absolutely.
And the sound and the music, like the soundtrack was okay for the most part, but the sound design and everything really sick.
Yeah.
Like kept you in, like you were following them on this possession trail, and
yeah.
they grabbed you by the hand.
I thought they did really well with like I think you had I think it felt like almost like, oh, this is what like an Australian environment kind of vibe was like.
Yeah.
Because there's some Kiwis that are in Australia that hang around there, I guess, or
Yeah.
live there, and then like Samoan people, Kiwis / Samoan people that will just reside in Australia as well.
Right.
And which is like that kind of vibe when we got with what's his name, Jules, or the big guy's character.
Oh, I can't remember, but the jock guy.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
kind of like, he had that, and I know the actor is Samoan, but he kind of had that like that whole like music vibe would sound like that traditional thing. I think I've heard it in other films
Yeah.
that are dedicated to like Samoan like characters. It kind of had that vibe going and
the broy
whatnot.
vibe.
And it was just like, it felt like, oh, this might be like popular in Australia, maybe.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's what I'm hearing, but yeah, it wasn't like my taste fully.
Yeah.
And sometimes it was just like they were really driving the track. It felt like with the relief scenes.
Yeah.
So Mia's relaxing. Danny has come over. Daniel, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Before the toe stuff.
We'll get into it.
Yeah. But it was just like they gave you like a M83 synthesizer relaxation. Like
Yeah.
Like,
It's like,
hey, just breathe. And you're like,
It's nothing scary about to happen.
Yeah, you're
it's
like-
well, all right.
well, I was expecting. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
about to turn to like some kind of like hard violin string thing, and it was just literally a decompressing scene. It was almost like they were therapeutic in a sense.
They're just letting you know, like, hey, it's okay right now.
Yeah, just calm
You're good.
down.
You're good to breathe.
Yeah, and like it was fun tracks with that scene when they did it alone before Riley's like demise into the spiritual realm.
Yeah.
They had like that vibe. They were just like when they were all taking a hit per se into the hand. Then you were just like,
It's like a
oh, this
party.
is groovy. Like they're
yeah.
having fun. I'm having fun.
Yeah, like you're in it, like you're sitting there in the room with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which also I like. They make you feel. So you know how in like high school or like college maybe you go, or even like a friend's hangout, like even here with our friends, our apartment is not big whatsoever, but like you're tight but you're comfortable because
Yeah.
you're around people you love and everything.
Right.
They gave that almost concept in the first scene with Mia's first possession.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they're all tightly in this small room, but I'm like, oh dang, I feel cozy though. It's like it's roomy but not roomy. Like
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Like there can almost be uncomfortability around the corner, but it's like everyone's pretty chill with each other, you know, like
Yeah.
it's not that uncomfortable.
So I thought that as far as cinematography goes on that, they did a really well job.
Yeah.
Good job. I do like the track as far as like emotional tying in.
Yeah.
And then what else you said? Narrative and acting.
Yeah, the narrative, like, you know, the story overall, like I didn't know where it was gonna go. Like after, you know, all because I've been seeing, you know, commercials for this because I've like for the last like 2 or 3 months have at least Googled it once a day, you know, just to check release date. You know, and all you see in the trailers is just like Mia getting possessed. There's a hand there, and it's like they do this a lot. It's like, all right, that's like it. I didn't know where it was gonna go.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, makes sense that the smallest person in the room, age-wise and like, you know, how tall they were, is gonna get fully possessed.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't let go of the hand, and it's like, oh, that was one of the rules. Like you can't go over 9 minutes or 90 seconds.
Yeah.
And then they want to stay. So it's like, oh, it's been more than 90 seconds, and it's like, oh, Mia was selfish, and she's like, no, wait, don't let him out. It's just like, oh, dude, stop.
Yeah, you idiot. Like,
yeah, dude. And after that, I'm like, oh, so they're gonna, she's got to figure it out. She's got to, you know, fix the issue she had, you know.
Well, the first dilemma was her first time, they couldn't get the hand off of her. So she went over 90. They're like, oh, we went over a little bit. And like, she's like, okay.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, I'm fine. But then the second time around, I think what really did it was just like, it felt like when her mom came through was speaking through Riley, and like they're like, hey, 50 seconds up, like get him out of there. And she's like, no, wait, and then she like disrupted the signal per se, or she added herself into it, and that's too much maybe for that whole like, because
or like added too much energy.
Yeah, it seemed like that at least, because like when she touched Riley and like got into it, it seemed like things started getting crazy after that, or it literally did get crazy after that.
Yeah.
So it was just like, you're in there, then you just like double dosed again.
Yeah, dude, out of a slippery slope. And like she said, she's like, oh, that felt amazing. And like Riley was like, how did it feel when you were like, you know, touching the hand? And she's like, great. And it's like, first one's free.
So narrative, acting,
and then lastly, genre.
Genre.
As a horror flick, amazing. Like the half star came from the acting part, because I don't know how I felt about Jade, but like this was a horror film, man. It was like a different kind of possession film.
Yeah.
Like it was possession with different rules, and you know, it was, I wouldn't say like revolutionary, but different.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, like most possession movies have like the air of religion tied to it, and it's like, okay, it's like we get it. You know, every Conjuring one, it's like, you know, it's like there's a whole like religious thing. There was like none of that in this.
Yeah.
Like at all.
Perfect.
It was,
in a sense, as far as concept goes.
Yeah, like I'm like, this was it. This was different. This is what we needed. You know, just not another possession film. You know, and I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
They nailed it.
Like I said earlier, the mystery of the hand is my opinion, their best thing going for them.
Yeah.
So a prequel would be dumb in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I agree now. I think definitely like just keep it going. Like you could keep it going.
I don't need an origin of the hand. A sequel, that would be cool. Give me a whole new set of like, not even teens, maybe adults, or I even think a cool direction would be like, this might be a little far-fetched, it might be too deep into it, but like maybe the social media thing gets out of hand. Like some authorities start seeing like the social media stuff and all that. Like, hey, this doesn't look fake or whatever, and then they have like an analyst like, yeah, this is not fake, this is real. They get their hands on it, no pun intended again, and then they start looking, or maybe like they get the first one, they start doing experiments on it, whatever, and then like they find the second one, maybe let's say there's a second
the other hand.
Yeah. Whoa. The other hand, the right hand, like,
oh yeah, that'd be nice,
because it's the left one, right?
Pretty sure
I think it's the left one, right? Because they came from panning in from the right, and then
but when you shake someone's hand, it's there. I think it's right, because they like,
is it the right hand?
I think so, because they all like they, you know, held on to it. I feel like, you know, statistically,
the other
you're
hand
shaking someone's hand, it's like the right one, so it's like, I think it's the right hand.
Okay, that'd be
so
cool.
So find the left hand and
left hand, whatever, whichever hand,
right.
The other hand they find, they, maybe the scientists, like, I don't know, they gets into it and like bringing them together and brings like a whole new perspective or whatever, and then maybe, I don't know, that could be a concept they could run with.
Yeah, like if they go for a third, that could be overstaying welcome.
Yeah.
I think, like, you know, who knows what the second one's gonna be. You know, they could whoever it is, they could take it and like fully destroy the hand, you know, and that's it. And then I don't know. The only thing I could see is like they destroy the second hand, and then all of a sudden, or the first hand, and all of a sudden the second hand comes back, and it's like, oh, here we go again. But I don't know. I just don't think they should do a third one if that's the case.
Yeah, I think at the end of the film, like, some people said it was the other hand, maybe at the second end of the film, because they said it might be on the other side of the earth, and they're on Australia, and then that would look like it was in Mexico, if I'm being cliche or stereotypical. It looked like it could be. Like,
oh, that'd be wild.
Yeah. What if it was just like what if it's like not even the hand at all? Like it's like just like a whole concept of something. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. But like, I don't know, like, what happened to the hand at the end?
Well, somebody said, I don't know. Nobody's shown footage, obviously, in these TikToks and reels that people have said this in. So it's like, you don't have footage. I can't see it.
It's just speculation for speculation's sake.
So it probably brings the whole concept of like, what hand did we have the whole time? The right or left? And then at the end, is it a right or left? But somebody said like, oh, there was no writing on the hand at the end. Oh. Like, because they all signed it throughout the movie, and it was like written on the whole time. And like, I'm like, I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
Dang, that would be,
because they said technically, like, I don't know, and I don't even know what hand Mia reached out with, but like also I don't even know if we saw the hand at the very end. I think it was just like her holding the hand, like, with the person.
I get, like, cause she walked towards the light, and then like you saw a hand in the ether, and she's like, oh, okay, and then you're like, right when she reached out, you're like, oh,
yeah. She's like, she's it now. But I think, it's like, what do you see?
But I think she, like, did she bring it to the hospital with Riley, or did she leave it at home?
She left it at home. I knew that because when Jade went to go check up on her and went to the house and found her dad, she saw the hand first and then her dad.
Oh, that's right.
So I remember that part. So maybe Jade got rid of it or something.
I feel like Jade wouldn't. She's like, whatever, like, that can stay there, and then she just ran back.
Yeah, but also the dad survived, so maybe he just shipped it out or just tossed it or something, and it like ended up somewhere.
That's wild, yeah.
But I don't know.
I guess it'd be interesting to see what happened.
Yeah.
And how the hand got there.
Exactly.
Assuming it is the same hand.
Yeah.
Because if it's the other hand, crazy.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. And like, it just gets more intense when you bring. Oh my gosh! Imagine. Oh no, I don't want to imagine now. I'm excited though, because the brothers, the Filippo brothers, are coming back for the sequel. I think they're gonna direct. I think they are directing. But that's just really cool. You get such a good popular film, and I don't even think A24 does sequels like that.
I was gonna say, like, has there been a sequel for A24?
Not that I know of.
Like, there wasn't a Hereditary 2.
No.
Or a Midsummer.
I don't think we need a Hereditary 2, bro. That was terrifying.
No. Yeah.
I don't think I could watch that again, bro. Like, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And it's so long.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what too. Like, I don't think Talk to Me was that long.
Yeah, I think it was paced fairly well.
Yeah. Like, the pacing was really good. And, like, you know, lately, I'm more of like, it's 90 minutes. It's a sweet spot.
Yeah. It is a sweet spot. I like a 2-hour film. I like, if you're doing a character study, as if like Oppenheimer, I'm okay with a 3-hour film. Yeah. But this time around, I was like, damn, I'm literally about to fall asleep. Like this, some parts. Yeah. But I was like, like how we talked about it in we're gonna talk about it, or we did talk about it. Because technically, anyway,
gotcha.
Filming. I'm thinking, but in our Christopher Nolan review, like my friend Kayla, she was like, yeah, that was the only first Nolan movie I was looking at my watch, like, yo, like,
dang.
And I felt the same way.
Yeah, because I mean, like, it's at the end of the day, it's like a history biopic, you know. So it's like,
it's also just like what you're doing. Like, if a character study, there's only so much I feel like you can hit on dramatically and like deliver it well, like. But then there are other films that like go like that. Like, I mean, Interstellar is 2 hours and 50 minutes, and it's a phenomenal film.
I was in it the whole time.
Yeah, through and through.
Because you're just like, what can happen next? What could possibly happen next?
Exactly.
Like, I recently saw Babylon from I think last year.
Oh yeah.
Way too long.
Yeah, Damien Chazelle.
Very long.
Yeah.
Too long.
Was it good though?
It was like Boogie Nights mixed with Great Gatsby mixed with Wolf on Wall Street, all together.
Oh wow, that didn't
Like
sound fun.
it was a wild time. It was like very fast paced, but also very long. When it slowed down, which is weird, when it slowed down and there was like actual acting on the screen going on, it was pretty good. But there was too many of the like sped up things that, like, you know, the party scenes and stuff. Like, it was very, it's just like, okay, like what's going on? Like, we don't need to see this scene. Did you see it?
No, I did not yet.
There was a whole Tobey Maguire part, and it was nuts. it was a fever dream. But that whole section probably didn't need to be in it. I don't know. Who am I? But like, you know, 90 minutes is a really good sweet spot for movies. Okay. You know, in my opinion.
Okay.
You can tell the story, and it's like I'm here, and this is my time. I didn't look down at my watch once, you know, watching Talk to Me. Like, I was like, you know, this felt properly paced.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, it's the pacing. Because like you said, Interstellar, almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
I was in rapture the whole time. So it's like, it just depends on the pacing.
Yeah, some movies can do it well. I think, wasn't the last John Wick 3 hours?
I believe so.
But that was an action film.
Right.
And then obviously, like, the last Avengers Endgame was like 3 hours, but that was also an action-packed film.
Right. So you kind of gotta pick and choose.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oppenheimer's a little long, but I still liked it.
Yeah.
But Talk to Me, really well paced.
Yeah. Just, you know, and I guess we should just get into it. You know, one of the scarier parts of the you know, when Daniel and me are going back to the house, and she's like, is she like dreaming? Is like she being possessed? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
You see the clothes in the corner move, and it's like a whole ghost, and she's like coming up. I'm like, what is gonna happen?
Yeah.
And then, bing bang boom, she's sucking on toes, and I'm like, what? When I was seeing it with my friend, I was just hitting him the entire time, dude. Are you seeing this? I was screaming and laughing in horror. I was like, oh my god, can you see what's happening?
Oh my god.
And then even more so when it flipped to Mia doing it. And
Yeah.
Like, whoa, no way. She did it. Daniel saw it, and it was like, no, it was him. So I was just like,
and she's like, no, I wasn't.
It wasn't me. And it's like, yes, it was totally you.
And then the callback scene when they're all talking about, have you been seeing things? And then they're like, what do you mean seeing
like,
things?
No.
And then Daniel's like, well, I woke up to Mia sucking on my toes. And they're like, what do you mean?
Jade's like, huh? You're like, no, it was the ghost, I swear. And it's like, oh. I mean, that scene alone would give Quentin Tarantino a run for his money.
Oh my gosh. That was hilarious. Yeah, and then I saw, speaking of Quentin Tarantino, he was buying tickets to like Oppenheimer and Barbie, and then Barbie has like a whole like foot scene. It's not like a foot fetish. It's just like to like for the character.
Right.
Anyway, I was just like, I just immediately thought that, and I'm like, and there was memes about him, and it was like a literal picture of him buying his Barbie ticket, and they're like, oh, this man's about to see the best movie of his entire life. I'm like, this is so bad.
Oh my god.
But if he sees Talk to Me,
he should go see Talk to Me.
But yeah, that scene was so scary. What I liked about that scene though is just like, I don't like most horror films because like the room is too lit even though it's pitch dark in the room.
Right.
That I felt like was really cool. I felt like her eyes were adjusting accordingly, like to what she could see, and like I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, like the light motivation was like, you know, it was like from the outside, it was like this makes sense. The lighting in here makes sense based on what we saw outside. Like, oh, it's the street light or it's a moon. You know, like it was just creepy enough. Yeah, like the lighting hit really well for that scene.
And that's what I pointed out. I'm like, wow, this is really like perfect because I could not see what it was.
Yeah.
And I just see movement.
Like,
and
that's like a pile of clothes moving, and like, oh, that's a human being.
Yeah. And that's what's terrifying about it. It's like you can't see it until it gets close enough, and then you're like, what is going on?
Because you see her like looking around the room, and you're just like, something's gonna pop out. Yeah. Something's gonna pop out, and then it's just a slight movement, and you're like, oh, yeah, my spirit left my body.
No, that was the whole like this for me. I was like, what is going on?
I covered my eyes at least 3 times.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my god.
I was terrified. Like, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, opener, I was like, oh my gosh, we're about to get into it. Like, we're really into it.
And it was cool because, like, it didn't even, like, you're like, oh, it's about to start. It's like, it's starting. But you didn't see, like, oh, you just see this kid who was just like, what's up with him? He's like, skeeving out? Like, he's possessed? Like, what's going on? And then they show with me, like,
and the whole kangaroo symbolism, that was hard to watch.
Yeah.
And, like, it was so funny. Like, in the not that part, but I'm just saying, like, in the theater, somebody was like, I don't know if they're being funny or serious. I was hoping they were being serious in a way, because I'm like, that's how you know it's an Australian film, because they're like I see something in the corner of my eye, and I just, like, I felt like I heard them say, what kind of dog is that? And then, like, I was just like, no way. I was like, no way, dude, he just said that. Like,
oh my god.
I'm like, we're in Australia, my guy. Like, or at least, like, this is an Australian film. It's a kangaroo, my guy.
Wow, that's hilarious. And I mean, that was kind of, like, crazy too. It was like, I guess seeing the kangaroo in the hospital was, like, symbolizing, like, put Riley out of his misery. Like,
yeah.
I know you missed it over here with the kangaroo, but the kangaroo's back now.
Yeah.
It's like, put him out of his misery.
But also, the brother said it would just wear off eventually. They get weaker the longer they're inside.
Yeah.
So it's just like, also, I want that information. I mean, I guess I don't, because I like the mystery of everything.
Well, because that was the thing. Like, they thought they knew. They thought they figured out how it worked.
Yeah.
But they really don't.
They don't.
They really didn't know.
I don't know how that guy knows, because he's just like, yeah, like...
Yeah, like, his brother fully, I don't know, stabbed himself in the face. So, like...
Yeah, it was just like...
Didn't really wear off, did it?
But he knows more than he's saying. Like,
I guess he was the inheritor of the hand prior, you know? Like,
maybe. That's great.
Still.
I'm excited for a sequel. I was excited to see this film. I'm glad it was good, because I was like, dang, bro, I hope it's not some, like, drawn out, like, A24, like, super...
I know, yeah.
They can get super, like, indie, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
In their films, like, mostly A24. But I think they're phasing out of that, and they're really developing some, like, high quality,
like, good storytelling.
Yeah, and I love the Corker stories. I love that they pick up these projects. Like, we're getting these amazing films, Everything Everywhere All at Once, like Talk to Me, like all these great for Moonlight, all these phenomenal films.
It's in terms of, like, indie horror. Like, I did not like Men.
No.
Men was probably the lowest rating film I'm given in a minute. Like,
he, Alex Garland, right?
Yeah,
and that's Ex Machina, and
Ex Machina was, like, good.
Yeah, and Annihilation was not as good, but good.
Right.
And I liked it.
And then it was just like a
dip. But Annihilation was based off of a novel, correct?
Yeah.
And Ex Machina was not, right? That's the original concept.
I believe so. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that was like indie horror that I'm into. Like, obviously Oscar Isaac is phenomenal. Obviously Alicia, what's her last name?
I was just about to say
Van Kuyk, Michael Fassbender's wife. I don't want to put her as that, but like she's married to Michael Fassbender. She was Tomb Raider recently.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, she did a phenomenal job. But yeah, Men was like, bro, you had me in the trailer, and then pooped on my experience.
Swing and a miss. You don't need to see it.
Yeah. Honestly, like, you should, so you know what we're talking about, but don't blame us if you're upset at it.
Yeah. Forewarning, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's wild.
So any other notes on Talk to Me real quick?
I mean, if you want, I can read my review on Letterboxd.
Of course, yeah. Please do.
Because I use, like, lately I've been leaving a little review. I'm not a critic, but, you know. What do we got? Okay. Talk to me. This film had everything. Foot stuff, cuck chairs, and possession. Kinks and jokes aside, wow. One of the more scary movies I've seen in a while. Very interesting take on possession, with cool rules for possession. From a narrative standpoint, interesting allegory for substance abuse, as well as prying eyes of people filming messed up things. I feel like that hand was akin to, like, a Ouija board, and I would not had a hand in messing with that.
Yeah.
Wink. From a cinematic standpoint, shot very well. Unnerving sound design, solid practical effects, dope shots that portrayed possession, and really good acting. Very interested in seeing what Sophie Wilde does next.
Yeah.
Covered my eyes twice, jumped a few times, screamed once, and hardly ate any of my candy. A wild ride. Huge recommend.
Dude, agreed 100%.
So I was just like, I was afraid to eat my candy. I was like, I was just like, I can't do anything else, or I'm gonna shake that hand or something. I don't know.
Yeah, dude, I was literally like this, and then I was like this.
Yeah.
And I literally was like this the rest of the film. I was like, oh my gosh, I literally am scared right now. Like,
Yeah.
but I love that. That's an
I know.
experience.
That's
of a
what I
horror
want.
film. Yeah, exactly. Like, you're so terrified, how I explained it to Ben and how I've said it before. Like, you're so terrified, you want to leave, but you're like, I'm not leaving because I paid for this.
I'm stuck here.
And I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah.
But like every other film, they know how audience works. They give you comedic relief. They give you sense of relief. They know how to pace it, and it was really well done. And at the end of it, they're not leaving you terrified. Like, oh my gosh, am I going to be possessed when I go on? It was like, oh, like you actually have to like interact with that hand in that universe to be like, I'm good. Like,
Yeah. Like, you know.
but even when like you messed with it, it wasn't like a permanent, like there wasn't permanent damage. Like,
Right.
unless you obviously if you Mia'd it.
Yeah.
But
If you got addicted.
yeah, exactly. But it was just like you can get out and it wears off after a while. There are withdrawals and they suck. Riley, sorry. Almost RIP. But
Yeah. You got out pretty good.
but overall, I loved the film
I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
and I thought it was phenomenal. Are you looking forward to any other like horror films or films for the rest of the year?
I mean, that voyage, the last voyage of Demeter's looks
Okay.
really good.
Okay.
Other than that, I haven't. I don't
Did
think.
you see the trailer to David Gordon Green's The Exorcist Believer?
No.
You haven't seen that?
No.
It's a sequel. Stop giving this man sequels. Basically, what they're doing is how they did for Halloween. Because David Gordon Green did the new Halloween trilogy. Goodness gracious. Started off good. What the heck? And it's like, stop.
We
like,
lost it.
stop. Like, you're killing me.
Dang.
But he has another project greenlit that's already trailers out. It's already filmed. Like, they're in post production right now.
Whoa.
And it looks really good. But it's a sequel to the first Exorcist, and they're basically they're going another direction.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Believer or whatever.
Yes.
So.
Okay. I mean, it looked pretty good.
It looks
The
terrifying.
trailer looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Because
No, for
The
real.
Exorcist is my favorite horror movie.
Definitely top 5 for sure.
Like I'm just like, this is the, you know, for when it was made,
Mm-hmm.
horrifying.
Yeah.
A sequel looked pretty good.
Oh yeah.
And it's the same. Is it the mom? I think is that was in The Exorcist.
Is back, yeah, or something like that.
Or-
She's
or, yeah.
playing like something like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's coming out this year. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah. I will watch it because I love the first one. Don't like the second one. I never knew they made a third one, and I heard it's pretty good.
For The Exorcist?
Yeah, there's an Exorcist 3. It came out in like the 80s.
I don't think I saw the second and third one.
Second one is, I would say skip, but I don't think it makes sense for the third one if you don't watch it. I think, if I remember correctly. No, excuse me. That's what I heard. I haven't seen the third one.
Okay.
But the second one I said is important apparently. But that's what they're doing now. So first one's established like Halloween. They have this other one that
I
they
see what you're
did.
saying.
Now they're doing this.
Okay.
So it's I'm excited. I don't mess with these kind of films usually.
I know.
So when I watched The Exorcist, I never knew about that stuff, and then obviously when you're an adult, you develop a sense of like what's this and that kind
And
of
I've
thing.
seen, and you know, I'm not, like I said, I'm not expecting any reinventing of the wheel here. It's The Exorcist, but now there's two girls, and it's most definitely gonna be something like with religious undertones, and it's like that's where it gets a little iffy, and I get that. That's
Yeah.
why Talk to Me was so different and good.
Yeah. So I'll watch Exorcist.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, but I'm gonna be very cautious when I go watch this film.
Yeah. I mean, as far as like things looking forward to, I mean, it's probably gonna be a dry next year for movies, year and a half, I would say.
You think?
I think with the strikes
with
and
the
everything.
strikes and everything,
I
yeah.
think so, dude. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you know, pay people what they're worth.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that hard. Like, I heard there might be coming up with deals soon, so our studios might be meeting with people soon.
Good.
Yeah.
Like, you know, A24 already did it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Just abide to it. Like,
maybe
it's not
we
hard.
should do this.
Yeah, maybe like writers are, they're important. Like
Weird.
actors are important too.
Oh, it's like their whole thing.
Oh wait, your whole cast and crew is important? Yeah.
Wild. It's like a job and people consume it all the time, so
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I hope they really do iron
Yeah, dude.
everything out. But thank you so much for being here, bro.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
It will not be the last time unless you say no forever.
Dude, ask, and I'll be here.
I'm trying to get more mobile style stuff, so I'm gonna get the adapters for these, the mic, like interview mic ones, with the port filter handle, everything like that, and then take this rig mobile, like just start going to people. There's like a podcast in New York that literally he has 2 lawn chairs and 2 mics, and he sets up in like Subways, Central Park, anywhere he wants. It is random every day apparently. I just came across this like TikTok, and he just sits down with people, and there's like a sign. It's like, sit with me and talk random conversations. And like one of the most interesting one is like it was like the theme was like stereotypes for some reason, and like how he was just like talking to this guy, and they're both from Afghanistan but did not know that prior, but everyone thinks they're like Hispanic or Mexican. And they were just like, he's like yeah, I usually like have this favorite dish that I like to eat during the holidays or whatever, and it's like, but it's like not many people know because I'm like Afghani or whatever. He's like, oh, is it this dish? And he's like, yeah. He's like, are you Afghani? Like, it's so cool. It's really cool. Like, so I want to kind of do that with like film, and then just like talk to people like randomly for like for social media, to be honest, but like also just like it'd just be fun to get on the community.
Yeah, like hang out outside of theaters and be like, hey, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Do like Billy in the Street vibes.
That'd be cool.
Like, but yeah, thank you again for being here,
dude. This was fun.
Always good to see you.
Yeah, likewise, man.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
Deuces.